Coming up on this week's episode of SVG Motors Weekly.
Today we're going to be talking about the Z71 Colorado and the ZR2 Colorado. A little compare and contrast.
One of the things I love most about Chevrolet is how they're constantly innovating to keep you and your family safe on the road.
Today on Tech Tips, we're going to talk about towing.
Need a car, need it bad, need something better than what you had. Not sure what you want or where to go. Well, there's one place that you need to know. SVG is the place for me, where you get superior value guaranteed.
How you doing? This is Brian Lloyd here at SVG Chevrolet. Today we're going to be talking about the Z71 Colorado and the ZR2 Colorado. A little compare and contrast today for these. Both of these trucks are dual-natured beasts, basically. I consider the Z71 to be a truck that's basically made for the road but has off-road capabilities. And I consider the ZR2 to be a truck that's an off-road truck that's made to go on the road. So both of them have really cool things about them that I'm going to go over with you. I'm going to go back and forth here is basically what I'm going to do, so just a little comparison. So since I'm at the front, I'm going to start at the front. The Z71s, basically with the Z71s, they have, of course, the Z71 badging. You have 3 engines available on this. It's a 4, a 6, and also a diesel, a Duramax diesel on there. The thing with the Z71, nice thing that they do is they color code everything. So whatever color you get, it's going to be that color mirrors, it's going to be that color bumpers. Everything is going to be color keyed. It's the Z71. They're doing it on the Silverados now. I think it's pretty cool for just to have other options on there. On the ZR2, this is actually 3.5 inches wider than this. A wider base, basically set up to, because this thing is made, I mean, you can climb mountains in this thing. It's basically, here also, I want to point out, see the bumpers on this, you see the clearance on this. This is a bumper delete here to give you more clearance if you're climbing over rocks and everything, to just give you that little extra edge there so you're not tearing this part of it off on there. Also on here I want to point out the ZR2 badge, badging on there, which you'll see several times as we go around this truck. Right down here is, you can actually feel that skid plate under there. The Z71 also does have a skid plate under there. This is a little bit more heavy duty on this one now. It's just that, like I said, just made, it's kind of like your body, okay? So you got a chest bone, ribs to protect your organs. They're set up, that's protecting the organs. If you're going off-road, the engine, everything is the organs in this truck that it protects on there. As we walk around, you'll notice very aggressive tires. These are 17-inch rims here, and they give it a much beefier, aggressive tire to be able to grab and get grip on there. If you notice on the Z71, still a very nice tire on there, but like I said, made more for the road as far as that tire is concerned. Both of them are going to have this noise dampening. Both are very quiet trucks for what they are. Having off-road, if you've ever been in an actual off-road truck, the noise is insane in them. Chevy took it a step further and actually said, we're going to make an off-road truck it's going to be quiet, so it's actually a much nicer drive. Quiet on the road, quiet on the off-road, and everything like that. So that's all that felt, and you can see these are set back. It's set back a little further than the Z71, so the ZR2 is actually set off a little bit.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm the Director of Marketing for the SVG Auto Group. I'm a die-hard Chevy girl, and one of the things I love most about Chevrolet is how they're constantly innovating to keep you and your family safe on the road. So today I'm going to take you through some of the latest safety innovations that Chevy's added to their lineup of vehicles to keep your family safe while they travel. Chevy's new Call Me Out app combines two extremely influential forces, technology and the people we love, to change distracted driving behavior. The smartphone app is designed to leverage the positive influence of peer pressure on behavior.
When a driver shifts into reverse, a camera at the center rear of the vehicle provides a view of the scene directly behind it, either on the center stack screen or inside rear view mirror.
Here at Chevy, we're really focused on developing technologies to help the safety of the people that are playing outside. So Chevy is reacting to the dangers of back over and front over incidents in a number of ways. Surround vision is a bird's eye 360 view around the vehicle. The 2018 Chevrolet Equinox gets its views from 4 different cameras. One is a front view camera, rear view camera, and then the side cameras are mounted on the mirror. The majority of incidents are caused by the driver not being able to see what's going on in their environment. This extra view essentially gives the driver an extra set of eyes to be able to see exactly what's behind him so they can avoid any incidents. Surround vision is just one of a dozen safety features that Chevrolet provides. Chevy knows summer's a fun time of year. However, we take safety seriously and we want to provide the safety of our drivers and passengers.
Lane Keep Assist with lane departure warning provide gentle steering wheel input and alerts to help prevent you from unintentionally drifting out of your lane. This feature uses a forward-looking camera. When you're in forward gear and traveling above 37 miles per hour or 60 kilometers per hour, this sensor looks directly ahead to detect lane lines. When a left or right lane marking is detected, a green icon is displayed. If you drift over a detected lane marking without intentionally steering or using your turn signal, this icon turns amber, and the system provides brief steering wheel inputs to help guide you back into your lane. This can be easily overridden with normal steering. If lane drifting still occurs, the lane departure warning system will flash the amber icon. In addition, front beeps are sounded in the direction of the lane drift. If equipped, rather than using directional beeps, the safety alert seat pulses on the left or right side. This feature can be turned off using a control. The system does not continuously steer the vehicle. In some emergency front-end collision situations, the front pedestrian braking feature may help reduce injury or avoid the collision by applying the brakes automatically or enhancing your braking. This feature uses a forward-looking camera. When in forward gear, this sensor looks directly ahead to detect nearby pedestrians. When a pedestrian is detected ahead, an amber icon is displayed. If the system detects that you're seconds away from a possible collision with a pedestrian directly ahead in your path, it sends an alert. If you don't respond quickly or the situation happens suddenly, the front pedestrian braking feature will enhance your braking or automatically apply the brakes for you. On some vehicles, the brake pedal moves when automatic braking occurs. You can override automatic braking at any time by pressing the accelerator or the brake pedal. If the system slows your vehicle to a complete stop, you can release the brakes with the electronic park button. This feature can be turned off through the vehicle menu setting. The system works in forward gear and operates between 5 and 50 miles per hour, or between 8 and 80 kilometers per hour. During the daytime, it can detect pedestrians up to 131 feet or 40 meters. Nighttime detection is very limited.
At Chevrolet, we've partnered with NATM and with RVIA in a mutually beneficial relationship to explore safety enhancement development as well as feature development for trailering. At Chevy, safety is our overriding priority. Our customers, when they buy a truck or an SUV and they plan to tow with it, they're really looking for a seamless and an easy way to hook their trailer up, drive down the road, and they want to have confidence while they're towing. And this relationship is going to ensure that we can develop technologies in a way that gives the people who buy our products and who buy trailers in tow the opportunity to get their cargo there safely, reliably, and dependably.
You know, if you think of all the safety technologies that are on the vehicle, you know, how can those be expanded onto the trailer as well? So there's really a lot of good opportunities.
A lot of our industry is small family-owned companies that don't have a lot of capital to be spending toward technological advances. So having Chevrolet partnering with NATM will help make our trailers safer for everybody.
The partnership between Chevrolet and trailer manufacturers will bring some awareness on what we need to do to integrate our trailers, whether it be recreational vehicles, cargo trailers, and integrate the trailer with the vehicle to continue to improve in safety and our customer experience.
As the leader from an OEM perspective, joining this partnership and establishing it, we're looking forward to help lead the charge in opening that sharing of information for the betterment of system development, but we also invite the other OEMs to join us so that we can have as broad of a spectrum as possible for the betterment of the towing industry, not just our customers. We're really looking to develop systems that the entire industry can take advantage of as we go forward.
Safety tests like this happen virtually every day at one of the world's top automotive facilities. 90 years ago, General Motors built the Proving Ground facilities, dedicated to testing their vehicles. They built it in Milford, Michigan, a small village northwest of Detroit. Back then, it took all day to get there. They chose the site because of its removed proximity from the urban area and its hilly terrain that naturally enabled various testing. Cars and safety have always gone hand in hand. At GM's Proving Ground, engineers began testing vehicle safety long before they really had the technology to do so. For rollover testing, engineers had to physically push the car down a track and observe as it actually rolled over. Today, the Proving Ground has a facility built specifically for this type of test. Old crash test videos show engineers jumping off the car at the last second. Notice how someone was there to catch him? This guy is risking his own safety to test safety. In the 60s, GM built a crash barrier. Using a tow rope, they propelled this 1930s vehicle into the cement. Though the vehicle was outdated at that point, there is always more to learn. Today, there's a fully equipped building built around the barrier, with 15 cameras and 360 light bulbs designed to observe every possible facet of the crash, so it can be analyzed for customer safety. In the 80s, GM designed the Hybrid 3 crash test dummies that were eventually adopted by the entire industry as the standard. The average dummy can last 10 years, but many parts are replaced on a regular basis. Engineers can study the effects of many different crash conditions on the body and are continuously driven by the desire to build safer cars.
Is the VBMU taking data?
Yes, we're taking data.
Starting tow.
Over the past 90 years, one thing has remained unchanged. GM continues to develop and use the most advanced technologies available to deliver customers the safest vehicles possible.
So mainly what I'm going to cover here, we're going to talk about the V6 mainly because both these have V6s, which is 308 horsepower, which is very good for a mid-sized truck. You get a little higher, of course, in the Silverado, and on around, like I said, the Z71 is very nice. It has a lot of off-road capabilities. The ZR2 though, you're talking about, okay, you're gonna be able to go through some mud and go over some hills in this. This one, you're gonna be able to climb mountains in, okay? Mountains, desert, all that good stuff. Everybody thinks this, they're like, well, the Raptor does this, the Raptor does that, which is all right, but this is not a competitor for the Raptor. Raptor is a full-size truck, which is made for the desert. This is your mid-size. It's a lot less money than your Raptors are. So base price on these start about $41,000. Base on these about $35,000, which is pretty solid. I mean, for everything you get in them. Going around, I'm gonna get in the inside here in a little bit. I want to do the outsides first, and I'm gonna go in. I'll show you guys the comparison as far as the inside. So on these, both of them are crew cabs. So you do get a lot of extra space back there. So if there's 4 of you, 5 of you want to go off-roading or take it off-road or whatever you want to do with it, you actually have that space. But I'll get into that in a second. So on around, Z71 badging all the way around on here. The Z71, no spray and bed liner. If you look in the back of the ZR2, standard spray and bed liner. Optional spare tire. Now the spare tire on these doesn't go underneath like it does on that Colorado. The spare tire actually has, it's an accessory part that actually mounts back here because basically they want to keep that clearance underneath this one. On the Z71, you have the spare underneath because, like I said, while you're going through mud, you're fine. But if you're going over a mountain, you're going to need that extra room, you know. So down in there's your spare tire. Now back here, you'll notice on the Z71, you do still have that step they've been using in the Silverado now since 14, and then they put it on the Colorado, very nice. Now you're not gonna find that on the ZR2, you're not gonna find that. Once again, it's about that clearance. This is not a truck that's really made for hauling stuff in to get it in the back. You can, but it's not really made for that. So they use no step. It's all about the clearance. This has a 2-inch factory lift on it. So it comes 2 inches higher, 3.5 inches wider than the Z71 already, or your standard Colorado on there. I do want to point out, which is really awesome, the Multimatic DSSV. A lot of people have questions, well, what's that suspension do? They can hook it up to a computer, they can program it, okay? So they can set this fine tuning to however you want it. Basically, then the way they have it tuned right now, makes it awesome for off-roading. Like I said, just the ride on it is all, but also you can hop off the road or hop off the track or the mountain, whatever you're doing, hop right onto the road and drive it, and it drives just as good as the other ones. Being an off-road truck, like I said, I don't know if you've ever rode in an off-road truck, but it's rough, man, and there's a lot of play. This thing is tight. Like the steering is tight on it. It drives just like a regular Colorado, but you have all these off-road capabilities. Z71, very nice. Doesn't have that. It has upgraded suspension. That's part of the Z71 package, so it does have upgrade. It's not the Multimatic DSSV, but it's still a very nice suspension and still very capable. Honestly, bang for your buck. If you're not planning on traveling through the desert or going through the mountains anytime soon, Z71 is still a great option as far as what you get with the off-road package. And I know a lot of people do prefer that off-road package. And some people like it because of the color, you know, just the color match bumpers and the color match things. I sell a lot of Silverados that way because people like this color match on there. Like I said, if you want something that's just fun, awesome to drive, I do want to point out the hood too, because this is all, everything on this truck is made to go off-road. I mean, it's an off-road truck. Nice thing about it, people always have to build their own off-road trucks and put everything together, but how often do you find one with a warranty? So this one's got a full warranty on it. So if you're taking it off-road and no suspension gives out, guess what? They're gonna cover it because that's what it's made to do. This is made to go off-road.
Hi, I'm Hunter Hammer, and today on Tech Tips we're going to talk about towing. Towing capability has been a strong selling point for many trucks and SUVs, from towing trailers to boats to other vehicles. But if you aren't careful while towing, you can not only damage your load but also your vehicle. Here are a few steps to keep in mind while towing with your vehicle. Tip number 1, load your trailer properly. When loading a trailer, you want to make sure the heavier items are towards the front of the trailer. If the load weight is too far back towards the end of the trailer, this can cause the trailer to sway back and forth and possibly cause a wreck. Tip number 2, inspect your load. Before you leave and every time you pull over to stop, always do a quick walk-around inspection of the hitch, wiring, and tires. Make sure the trailer harnessing connector and the breakaway cable are still connected and all lights are working. Checking these items when you stop is a great way to prevent issues while towing. It's better to find an issue when you're stopped than finding out later on the road. Tip number 3, cross your chains. Cross the safety chains under the hitch side to side to create an X pattern. If for whatever reason the hitch becomes adrift, the trailer tongue will drop into the chains instead of on the ground. This will help give you more control and minimize the damage between you and your vehicle. Tip number 4, know your weight. Knowing the weight your vehicle is capable of towing is extremely important. What matters the most is your vehicle's gross combined weight rating. That's the total amount of weight for the entire rig. This weight includes vehicle, occupants, and everything in and on the trailer. Be sure to keep inside your vehicle's GCWR and you should be fine. These are just a few tips to keep in mind when towing with your vehicle. Towing a trailer, boat, or vehicle can be dangerous if not done properly. Following these few steps can keep you and everyone else on the road with you safe. Once again, this is Hunter Hammer with another episode of Tech Tips. Stay safe out there.
Colorado has set up a very, very nice interior on these. In the Colorado, the Z71, they do this is leather cloth, so they do a combo there. In the middle, you have your trailer and your bed light, your hill descent. Over here to the left, of course, your 4x4, your lights, your cruise control, all your interiors on your DIC, so you can pull up and check you can check angles on this thing. So you can put it on, if you put it on the off-road mode, you can actually check to see what angle your truck's actually at, which is very helpful to have. You know, I point out it does have the MyLink system, which is just improving every year. They're just going over everything, like just making everything so nice in these things, which is your radio button, your Bluetooth, your projection. Your projection is for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you guys don't know what it is, look it up. It's amazing. It's great stuff. Kind of eliminates even having to get a GPS on these things. This is very nice to have. But you always have your OnStar nav, which you can get up to 3 months of free OnStar when you do purchase a new Chevy, which is a very nice feature especially for those that people that travel and stuff like that. It's very nice to have. Your texting, of course, your OnStar button, and then your camera, which is nice because they've added this year. They've added this to the Colorado, which they didn't used to have. This is to line you up for your hitch. So if you have the hitch on there and you're wanting to back up to a trailer, this thing guides you. It's kind of hard to mess it up. So even if you've never backed up to a hitch, you can look like an expert when you're doing that. Your trailering mode, so you have your trailering mode, traction control, hazards, your rear bed light back there. So if you have cargo and you're moving some stuff out at night, you want to see what you're doing, that's it. And your hill descent, your hill start stop on there. On down, this one does have the heated seats, which is also an option on the Z71. But you have your USB, your auxiliary standard charging port. Also in the center console, you also have an additional USB charging port. Run your cord out there, sit your phone there. It's all designed very nicely. Very good lines in it. So, and then I'm going to move back over now to the ZR2 to show you what it has additionally. It's going to look like a similar setup. There is some additional stuff that comes with the ZR2 that I'm going to show you right now. So here on the ZR2, you notice this is full leather. So This is standard on this package, so it does come with the full leather seats on there. I do want to point out one big thing on here also. Very similar MyLink system. All the great features that you have in the Z71 is also here in the ZR2. I want to point out down here though, locking rear and front differentials on there. So you can do that with the touch of a button. Love that feature. It's nice to be able to choose which one. Lock them out, go off-road. This thing is awesome. One other difference on there, I got a wireless phone charger here. So basically, you can set that your iPhone or your Android down there, get that baby charged while you're doing some driving. Sit it there, drive, pick it up, it's charged. You can call the wife, the husband, whatever. So if you're in the market for a mid-sized truck and you want something with some off-road capabilities, you really can't go wrong either way. Whether you go with the Z71 or you go with the ZR2. ZR2 is going to give you a lot more capabilities, but like I said, you can't go wrong either way. Once again, this is Brian Lloyd at SVG Chevy in Greenville. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. And if you haven't done it yet, go to youtube.com and subscribe to the SVG Motors channel. Or go to our Facebook page and like our page. And last but not least, if you want to see future episodes, go to your DVR and search SVG Motors and catch future episodes. Thanks again for watching.